So the colors I'm using today for this painting are your primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. And I have titanium white or white. So now we are going to put on our little swing and our little girl on the swing. And I'll send you the pattern, and what I'm doing is I'm just taping it on where I want my swing, and I'm using carbon paper. This is carbon paper, and you put that underneath here, and then you draw it on, trace it over with a pen. Okay. Now, if you can do that freehand, you certainly can. If you don't want the swing there, you don't have to have it. Or you can have a swing by itself if you don't want to go through the whole process of doing a person. So I'm going to make a gray color. I'm going to put gray here, almost black. So I'm going to make my black, or you can use black. Okay, I just have the colors here, and I like to show you how to make colors. I like to do as much, teach you as much as I can while I'm painting. And so I'm just putting some red and ultramarine blue, burnt to umber. Alright, see, it's almost black now, right? So we'll use that. I'm going to put that on just so we can get something started with a small round brush. Alright, so now we have to imagine that's going up around that tree. So I would have to extend it up here so it looks like it's going around that tree. We wouldn't want that to break off, so we gotta make sure it's wrapped around good. And then we'll bring it. Now with the small round brush again, put white on there. Now the paint might be still wet, that'd be good because I want a gray color. So I'm putting white on there, and I'm just going to go and make that into a little chain. I'm going to go pull on that side, pull over on that side. That, that, that. So I'm going diagonal to the left, diagonal to the right. Almost like a letter X. So that's all there is to that. Just to make it look like a little bit of a chain or something there. And now we will work on the girl. So you can have whatever clothes you want on her. You can go by the reference photo, but you can change the color of her shirt. You know, I might go pink on mine. Pink with the pink boots. The pink boots are so cute. So I'm just going to make some pink. Just going to make a bit of pink. I'm going to make it more on the red side than I want light pink yet. I can always lighten it up after. I just want to put something here because it needs shadows and things too, right? So I just want to get it started. Put something there just to get it started. Okay, and then there's another boot here. And then add a bit of blue to that red to get a purple color. That will be our shadow. Nice dark purple. Right there. Put that over here just to get that shadow in there. Just using the chisel edge of my flat brush. If I forget to tell you what brush it is, you can almost tell by looking at it. I'm only using flat synthetic brushes and a little round brush and a bristle when I need it. But oh, oops! Now she got a fat leg. Oh, that's okay. It's okay. So now I'm going to add some more of that pinkish color. More white this time than red. White, a little bit of red. It's going to be really bright pink. So we can get that on this side here. That's where the light is. And there's a light here. And a little bit here. See? See? And now we're going to do the bottoms of the shoes, the boots, and they're a beige color, would you believe? So I'm just going to add some white, a little bit of my burnt sienna, very little, just enough to get a tan color. And then you're going to put in that boot. I can't see it because better off use a bit of chalk for the dark spot there. But we'll guess, we'll guess. I'm sure we'll manage. Okay, good. So, that dries a little bit, I'll add more. I can add a little bit of white there now in the corner of my brush, or you use your round brush. Your round brush is probably better. That's the heel. Just putting on the corner of my brush so I get that heel in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit down here and kind of leave the center a little bit more because that'll give a bit of a shadow there. I would think your round brush would do much better. Just having a little bit of a hard time controlling the brush. Okay, well, we got that much done. Alright, so that's good. So now I might do her blouse or her shirt or sweater in a pinkish color to match her boots. So I'm going to go with red, a little bit of white. And I'll always lighten it up after, but see if I get a nice pink color. You already have a pink in a tube. You can certainly use that too. You don't always have to mix your colors, but it's kind of nice to learn how to mix, you know. Yeah, I like the pink instead of white, but you go ahead and paint it white if you want. I just want to add a little color to the painting, that's all. As for the skirt, I might go a dark blue or something. Yeah, I was going to go green because pink and green would be like complementary to each other, but there's a lot of green in the grass down there, so unless we go really light green or something. But I think the dark would be nice for contrast. Dark skirt. Now where that arm, where you drew that arm, keep that, see if you can keep that line a little bit so you have an idea where the arm ends for your shadow, okay? Leave a little space there or something that you can tell where that arm ended. Alright, so same here. Try to keep a little space where you're going to have shadows or a separation so you know where the arm is. Alright. And you can put anything, or anybody, you could even put your own children on the swing if you want. If you have a picture of them back sitting on the swing already, or you can take pictures of them, or, you know, take a picture of them if they're already on the swing. It'd be great. You can take pictures of them when they are, and you take them to the park, and then you can set it up so that when you print it off, you can print it off to the size that you want on your canvas. Mine's a 16 by 20, so if you do a smaller one, then you're going to need a smaller picture printed off, right? Or you could use this for reference, and whatever color your child's hair is, you can paint it to look like your own child. Now let's do the skirt. I think a round brush would really be nice to suit some of those lines out so they won't look so, I don't know, just to soften up a little bit more. I might come back to it. I'm just trying to get something there to have something to work with, right? So it doesn't have to be finished, and you might do your shirt or your sweater and look really odd or won't look right. That's okay, because you can always go back after and then go back and because at least this is giving you something to work with. So it's not perfect right away. Think of it as just actually having something to work with for your next venture. Well, for your next step in painting, okay? So I'm going to go with the dark blue so I can have contrast. It's almost black here in the picture, so I might add a bit of burnt umber to it. I'm just mixing up some of my paints here. And just see what that's like. It's almost black. Yeah, it's kind of nice. Lots of contrast there, see? Dark against the light color. Really makes that light color stand out. Just watch. See how it's making it pop? Good. So, good, and then you can add a little bit of white to your blue, your dirty brush, just a little bit of white for a highlight. Let's give it kind of a highlight, kind of swirly highlights. Try to give that dress a little bit of movement. As you can see, I accidentally went up in her shirt, but I'm not going to worry too much. Alrighty then. So I'll clean off my brush and I'll fix that little shirt there. I don't want to forget about it because then I might leave it there by accident. So I'll just put a little bit of my pinkish color back there. So you can fix things. And we'll get the get some black, or almost black, on the swing part. Alright, so swing is sort of like this. It comes in here. And over here. Good. See a little bit of swing here. That should be okay. Maybe it comes out a little bit further. To make it look a little even with the other side there. And now we will add a highlight with a dirty brush. I'm just going to add a bit of white on the corner here. And over here. And a little bit on the edge. All right. So you need a small brush with a tip on it, but you can use your round brush, so you'll be able to get a little better. Right? White and then a bit of blue up to the chain. Alright, at least you can see it. Right? You can see it. See? Now she'll probably look good with a head. What do you think? Okay, so now I'm going to try her head. And her head is, and her hands. So let's go with flesh tone color and get her hands done. I'm just going to start with white. Alright, start with white and a little bit of red. And a little bit of burnt sienna would be nice in there. Maybe even a little bit of yellow. That's a nice color, isn't it? Right there. It looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get our hands going. Just use a small brown brush. Like I said, whatever you can work with. I think I'm going to add a little more burnt sienna to that because it seems to be kind of light. A little bit more. I think that's a bit better. I'm going to put just white on my dirty brush. Add a little bit of highlight to the edge here. And a little bit in here. See, the paint is still wet, so it won't come out too white. That won't be too bad. And at the edge here. See, it gives it like it's the sun is shining on our hand. Now let's do the other one. So the same. Yeah, that's too dark. See, I mixed that in. Stop that. So we will take white to begin with. Some red to make it nice and pink. Some burnt sienna or a bit of brown. And enough to, there you are, enough to, so white, bit of red, maybe a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of burnt sienna or brown. And then we will add our highlights. There she is. Those fingers are coming in from around. Okay, so that's her hand wrapped around there, and that's her thumb right here, and that's her fingers. So we'll have to add some burnt sienna to make it look like fingers, which is fingers, little dots right here. These are fingers. That's her thumb. And that's her hand wrapped around, coming around with her fingers. Okay. A little bit of highlight to make it look a little better. That's better. It's really hard to see, you know. But the highlights will help bring out the hand more. That's her thumb right there. Her thumb comes up a little bit higher. That's her hand. That's her thumb. Her fingers. A little bit of white, try and get it a better shape. So got a highlight here from the sun. I'll fix the chain link thing there. And her thumb is here. There we go. So you play with enough, you'll get it. You'll get it eventually. So you can work on that. I'm going to have to work on it. I can see that I need to work on that. So I'm not going to worry about it right now because I want to get this done for you guys. So then we got her here, which is a blondish, dirty blonde. So I'm going to add some of my burnt umber and burnt sienna together. Give it a kind of a dirty blonde look. And then I'm going to just add in her here. I'm going to streak it up just so I can get a feel of her here. Now you can fill it in, but then I'm just trying to get a feel that it goes upwards. She has a bun here, so go with the shape of the bun. It goes around in circles, alright? Goes around circles. I got a bit of a lighter color on my brush by accident, so I'm glad that happened because, so I'll stick a bit of white in there because what happens is you won't know where it's going. So that little bit of white there helps mixed in with it. I don't have it mixed in, I kind of made my here, right, with my burnt umber and burnt sienna, and then I kind of went into my white in the corner of my brush and I just put a little bit in there, and then I let that fall in with the rest of it, okay? So I'm trying to get the shape of the hair. There we go. And then we will add we'll highlight the hair in a minute. Let's go back with some skin tone, white, red, pink. Get a nice shaded. I just kind of mixed white in with the colors I had made there just to get the tone that I want. Probably a little bit more red. So red, white, yellow, bit of brown or burnt sienna. Just the neck. Goes up here. We got a bit of an ear there, so I'm going to add a little shadow behind the ear. Alright, and then there we go, a little shadow here, shadow here. I just darkened up the flesh tone with a bit of red, that's all. And I'm going to go in white. My brush is still dirty. I'm going to go with just pure white, and I'm going to add that to the corner of her neck here. And I'm going to add a bit too. Let's see where else there's light. There's a bit of light to the corner of her ear. And my brush is a little bit too thick. Alright, so you need a brush that has a really good tip to it. Right? A really, really thin, rounded tip. Even if you try to round it out with your fingers, sometimes they're hard to get. You know, to get that round tip. See, because I got too much here, right? So, because of my brush. So a lot of times you do things and it's not your fault. It's just because your brush is kind of not the right brush. So I'll put that at the end of the face there, and I'll darken up that ear again with some my darker color. So these little small areas are going to be a little bit tedious. I need a nice Now, I'm going to work on this again after. Smooth it out and make it more like a face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white on my brush. I'm going to wet my brush. I'm going to take some white. My brush is really wet. And I'm going to take that wet, almost see-through here, and try to give her some flyaway here. She's on the swing and she's flying away there. There we go, and then you get some up here. And the sun is shining on her hair. It's flying everywhere. See, it's flying everywhere. Some more. Coming right into the hair. Some more white. Now you're not going to get as much water. You're going to make it even more brighter now. But you got to keep those curves going, all right? Try to make a smile. Try to make a smile. Smile, smile. Backward C, forward C. Let's make a curve. Some more down here. Now, see, now that you got those see-through ones, now you can go with more opaque, but thinner on top of what you just did so that you can see the hair better. See? Got to get that thin tip of the brush. Just follow what you did, but this time you're just going to make these little thin lines over what you just did. Good. So, I'm going to go and get some, got another brush here, try to get a finer tip. So I want to get those nice thin lines coming out. You want to get that shadow over here in there, so use that shadowy color, that burnt sienna and burnt umber. Get that in there. And then take let's see, white, maybe a bit of yellow, maybe a bit of yellow coming down out this way because our bun is up there. So that's nice. Look how bright that is. That's nice. And then you got these yellow go around like that. See? Good. Hair's flying all over the place. It's so cute. Alright, so that's just might freshen up our shirt a little bit. See what else we need to do now. So let's do some touch-ups. How about we fix this corner of the tree, which is burnt umber. A bit of burnt sienna maybe. Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, this tree needs adjustments here. I don't know, I think I like to bring it out a little bit. I don't know, it looks like the tree is bent over here nicely, but it's like it's not, you know, maybe it don't have to be, but I just feel like I need to do something there. You know, it could be. I'll put some grass there now after. What else do we need to do? It all looks pretty good. You know, you can do whatever you want with it. Just make sure those branches look like they're coming off the tree. fix up some of your branches if we have to. Just want to make sure it looks, I think I want to add a bit of white, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red. Just drag some of that over there again. Highlight some, give some more highlight, just a little bit. Doesn't need a lot. Just want to add some color to it. See that red falling off there? Isn't that nice? Greens, blues, whatever. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just thought it'd be nice to get a bit of color in there. So, let's get some here. Those nice colors. Oops, I went outside the line. Oopsie daisies. I'm just having fun now, see? Well, you might not want to do this because it may not suit your painting. So it kind of gives it a bit of a brighter color. So all I'm going to do next, I'm not going to do anything else because you don't really need to do a big lot. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my big old 1-inch chip brush. Just going to take my 1-inch chip brush, a little dirty, but that's what acrylics are all about, and oil paintings and all the mess that you get into when you use paints. So let's just take this and add a few little white flowers to the beginning of it here. And probably a few little, what I might do is add a little bit of yellow to my brush and just tap a little bit more highlights here with this brush. Alright, and get them up into the trees. Just a little bit of highlight, not much, just tap here and there, kind of making these little, maybe some little daisies in the grass. That's all. I'm not putting you can put flowers in if you want. I'm just going to do some of this. Just let the brush do the work for you, okay? See? The brush will do the work for you. Now this time we're going to go into pure white. Okay, pure white. Tap it in your hand if you got to open up the bristles. Make sure the bristles open right up because that's what you want, to get each individual bristle with white on there, and that will give you those little flowers in the field. Okay. See? Some will be bigger than others because the bristles, some bristles are smaller than others. That's all we need. We don't need much. I'm just going to put a couple over here. I don't think I need too much more. I don't want to... My problem is I overdo it sometimes. I get so excited about how it looks and I like the way it looks. Smaller ones should look further away. The closer you get, you can put some bigger ones there so that it gives it distance and depth. So your brush will do the work for you. Okay. See? See how your brush is getting bigger ones and smaller ones all at the same time? Get a few little over here. And turn your brush different ways to get different shapes. That's pretty. I like that. You could add different colors if you want to. You can have yellows and reds and all that good stuff. But I think, you know, I need to work on a shirt. I could do that while you're watching, or you can do that. I think that's about it, though. Let's see. So I like her hair and that. I like, you know, I like the way it looks fine. Just a little bit on the shirt side. Not really sure. That part there is sticking out too much, I think. Yeah, I'm just smoothing it out. I think that's better. That was dry, so I could paint over it, and some of it came through. And that way I could keep some of the work that I already did. A little bit of light here. And a little bit of light here. See, these final whites, they really finish your painting. So when you're done with your painting, go in and see where you can put white, because that will really change. It'll really, I don't know, give it that really finished look. See that? Gives it a nice finished look. Pure white on top, because it won't look chalky, because the color underneath will come through a little bit. Alright? A little bit of highlight. If you don't want it too bright, just add a bit of blue or pink. Add a little color. That's better. That's much better. Good. So that's nice. It wasn't too hard. And all these simple little tricks and tips I gave you. If you want some leaves on there, you certainly can do that. Or if you want some, I don't know, some smaller branches, you can take your chip brush again. I'm going to call it chip brush from now on because I never really said what kind of brush it was. I just said it was a bristle. But they're called chip brushes. Right? So what color leaves? Do we have a really dark green or maybe some reds and oranges, yellows? Maybe that would be nice. Maybe there's a little bit of fall going on here or something. So if you use this brush, you won't have to worry about trying to make these little tiny, right? Tiny leaves. So just dipping in some red and yellow and trying that. Maybe it's, you know, she got a sweater and it's probably not that warm. Who knows? Could be cold out. Could be cold. Some yellow and red mixed together like that. Doesn't matter, just some blobs because you want some bigger ones. Don't push too hard, that's the only thing. See, that brush is amazing, isn't it? Don't have to do any work at all. Maybe some leaves falling down on the ground. Maybe they're falling down. A little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe some of them fell on the ground. Falling down. I want to put too much. I don't want to overdo it because I'm very bad for overdoing things. Don't know when to stop. You guys say, when do you stop? I can't even figure out how to stop myself. Now that's cute. I think I'll leave that. It's kind of nice. Adds a little bit of color to it, doesn't it? Is that prettier? Or I like it. Just the ones on the ground. I didn't have that down. I keep saying to you that just times that where I'm doing the videos myself, I might forget to move the camera down, so I just tapped on the same down here. Okay. Just tapped on the same. It fell down on the ground. Nice leaves fell on the ground. Okay. Yeah, that looks nice. I think that looks nice. Let's call it childhood memories or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this today, and if you did, let me know in the comments if you need any help or you know what you liked about this painting, and I hope you learned a lot. So I'm going to do another painting, getting another one ready for you, and I will see you in the next video. Saying signing out from Allison Prior. Bye. Have a great day.